Today in this video, I'm going to create comment and like entity, DTO and the repository in Spring Boot application. So let's get started. As you can see, the entity is package in our Spring Boot application. So inside this, let me create a new Java class with the name comment. With this, I'm going to create a new Java class with the name likes. Let me copy the code from boot entity. First, I'm going to copy these annotations. Let me add inside the comment class and the likes. With this, I'm going to copy the inner content of this class. Let me add here inside the comment class. First, we have the entity field long ID. On the top of this, we have the annotation @ID to make this field as a primary key in our table. Second field with the name created at. That is the type of a date. Third, we have private string content. Third, we have relation with the user, where we have a first annotation @many-to-one, like one user can post many comments. Second annotation @join column, where we have a column name user_id. Validation that we have nullable false. Third annotation on delete. Fourth, we have JSON ignore. Let me remove this relation. At the last, we have relation with the poll, like one poll has many comments. A column name of poll inside the comment entity that we have poll_id. Now at the last, let me update the method name getCommentDTO. A return type of this method commentDTO. Let me create here a commentDTO class inside the DTOs package. So on the top of this class, let me add here the annotation @data. Inside this class, let me add here the parameters for comment DTO class. So the parameters are private long ID, private string content, private date created at, private string username, private long user ID, private long poll ID. Now here inside the comment entity, I'm going to update the return type of this method comment DTO. So it will be a public. Inside this, I'm going to create here an object of comment DTO. So first we have to set here ID. Second, we have to set here content. Inside the argument, we have to pass here content that will get from comment class. Third, I'm going to set here created at. Inside the argument, we have to pass here created at. Fourth, we have to set here poll ID that will get from poll.getID. Third, we have to set here user ID that will get from the user relation. At the last, I'm going to set here username. So we have to get here user dot get first name plus the space between a name. With this, we have to get here user dot get last name. And at the last, we have to return here comment DTO. After setting up a comment entity and the DTO, let me create a new interface inside the repositories package. So the interface name comment repository. On the top of this, let me add here the annotation @repository to make this interface as a repository in Spring Boot application. Let me extend this interface with a JPA repository. Inside the argument, we have to pass here comment entity. With this, we have to pass here a data type of a primary key long. After creating a comment repository, let me create here a new interface with the name likes repository. So on the top of this, let me add here the annotation @repository, and we have to extend this with JPA repository. Inside the argument of this, we have to pass here likes entity. With this, we have to pass here a data type of a primary key long. And inside the DTOs package, let me create here a new Java class with the name likes DTO. So on the top of this, let me add here the annotation @data. Let me copy the inner content of comment class. Let me add here inside the likes class. So inside this entity, we have a following fields: primary key, long ID, relation with the user, and a poll. At the last, we have a function with the name getLikesDTO. A return type of this method likes DTO. Inside this, I'm going to create here an object of likes DTO. Let's go to the likes DTO. Inside this, I'm going to add here the parameters for this class. So the parameters are private long ID, private long poll ID, private long user ID, and private string username. So here inside the likes entity, I'm going to update this function. First we have to set here ID. Second we have to set here poll ID. Third we have to set here user ID. At the last we have to set here username, and we have to run here likes DTO. Now you can take a look of a likes entity. Here is a likes DTO. Here is a likes repository. Here is a comment entity. Here is a comment DTO, and here is a comment repository. That's all for now from my side. Thanks for watching.